refers to separating into equal groups. If we want to separate 24 into 4 equal groups, then we're implying that we are dividing 24 by 4. So it means divide 24 by 4. And we can request that division in a couple of ways. We can say 24 divided by 4 using this notation for division, or we can actually use a fraction bar. This says 24 divided by 4. You see, they mean the same thing. Now, in this process, we usually use a little mathematical symbol, a little division symbol. It looks like this. And we say that we're dividing 4 into 24. The 4 is called the divisor. 24 is called the dividend, and the answer in the process is called the quotient. Now, in this division business, we're separating into equal groups now, and how many equal groups, you see, with 4 in each group, will make 24, and it turns out to be 6. And we can verify that this is correct, that there are 6 equal groups, you see, with 4 in each group. Like this, we can say, well, let's see, 6, if we have 6 groups with 4 in each group, that's a total of how many items? Well, it's 6 times 4 items, you see, or 24 items. 6 times 4, 24. So this is a way to verify that we are performing the division correctly. So, divisor, dividend, quotient. Now, the check on it, notice that the check, I performed the check here of 6 times 4 is 24 in order to verify that this is correct, that 6 is indeed the quotient here. And that check, notice, is quotient times divisor is equal to the dividend. So quotient times divisor is dividend. This is the way to check division problems. Let's talk about some special division problems. If we were talking about 5 into 5, we're dividing 5 by 5, or for that matter, any number into itself. We're trying to divide 5 into 5 equal parts. How many items would be in each one of those equal parts? Well, it turns out that each one of those equal parts would have to contain 1 item, because 1 times 5 is 5. And in a similar way, if we're dividing 12 by 12, you see, we're trying to separate 12 into 12 equal parts, then each of those parts would contain 1 item, because 1 times 12 is 12. 1 as a divisor, 1 into 7, kind of means, you see, if we're thinking about this equal parts idea, how many items would be in the parts if we were going to separate 7 into 1 part? Well, if 7 is divided into only 1 part, then all 7 of these items would have to be in that part. So it's 7, because 7 times 1 is 7. In other words, when we divide 1 into any number, it turns out to be itself, you see. And that number times 1 is the number we started with, all right? Is that the dividend? 1 into 25. You see, we're separating 25 into 1 part, and that part has 25 items in it, because 25 times 1 is 25. 0 is kind of a special dividend. If we divide a number into 0, now think about this division symbol as being a request for a number, the quotient, which can be multiplied times the divisor to give this 0 dividend. You see, what times 4 is 4? That's kind of a good way to look at it. What times 4 is 0? You see, what times 4 is 0? Well, 0 times 4 is 0. You see, and any time 0 is the dividend, it turns out that the quotient is going to be 0. 15 into 0, that is, what times 15 is 0? Well, 0 times 15 is 0. Now, let's let 0 play another role. What if 0 is the divisor? That is, what if we have 0 into some number? What times 0 is 5? You see, is the request here. Is there any number that we can choose that we can multiply times 0 to get 5? Go like this. No! Therefore, this is an impossibility. This is not a defined operation. We can't possibly divide by 0. Now, this division by 0 can appear in a couple of other ways. You know, it can be 5 divided by 0. That's impossible. 5 divided by 0 like this? Impossible.